How many of you actually take the advice or consider the advice that you get from existing entrepreneurs? Tell me in the comments down below. I want to hear from you. Welcome to this week's edition of Entrepreneur Insider. I am your host and the founder of the Black Entrepreneurs Network, Tia Robertson. I am super excited to share this episode with you. Okay, let's keep it real. I'm super excited to share every episode with you. So this episode, we do not have a featured interview. However, we do have an amazing sponsor in Nicely Placed Organizing, and the owner is Sierra Hamilton. So whether you are in the NC or SC, North Carolina, South Carolina areas and need her support, or outside of those areas and can use her virtual support, getting your life, your home organized, reach out to Sierra. You will hear from her and more about her business shortly. If you did not watch her featured interview here on Entrepreneur Insider with RETV, be sure to check out that episode. I will share a link to that episode in the show notes. So be sure to check out Sierra today. Don't forget to like and share her with your communities. All right, so the question I asked at the top of the hour was about advice. Everyone has that and a butthole, right? We've all heard that expression. It's not quite that way, but that's my version of it. So we're not talking about buttholes. We're not turning you off and getting you to flip off this episode. But the point is that everyone has advice, whether it is about love life, your children, and of course, business. But I do really want to know from you, how many of you have taken advice you've gotten from others? Sometimes people give us really good advice, right? Things like make sure that, well, let's think about this one. A lot of people didn't give me this advice. This is something that I learned on my own and I share with people that I work with. But to make sure that you track your expenses. Now, yeah, if I talk to a lot of accountants and bookkeepers, they probably would have told me those things. They have told me things like track my mileage for business lunches and trips. But in general, a lot of people don't talk about the expenses that you have as an entrepreneur, right? Whether you invest in the G Suite, right, instead of a free Gmail, so you can have a professional image. Whether you invest in a pro edition of Canva, right? A lot of us are using Canva for our designs, and free is great, but there's a lot of benefits in pro. I'm not affiliated with Canva, but just letting you all know that. Whether you have a website and you have to pay for a monthly hosting or your annual domain name, right? Those are all expenses that we have to track. So here's my piece of advice. Make sure that you are tracking your expenses, because a lot of times we think about profit in terms of how much we sell, right? How many shirts we sell, how many leggings we sell, how many of whatever product or widget that you sell, or how many clients that we retain if you're on the service side. But the reality is, if you make $1,000 a month, if you are not tracking your expenses, then you really are not sure how much profit you make, right? So kind of think of people who have jobs. A lot of people are kind of familiar with that analogy. You have a gross income and then the net, which you get after your expenses, right? After your insurance and after Uncle Sam gets his money or anything else, right? Whether you pay child support. Business is exactly the same way. You need to know what's coming in and what's going out into who. And that's a great way also to see where you can kind of cut back, right? If you need to save money or determine how you can invest in a program that's going to help you build your business. All right, so a lot of people have that advice. There's some other things. Don't quit. There's motivational things like that people share. And there's a lot of good in the advice that people give. And sometimes there's some advice that maybe is just applicable to a certain industry or a certain person, right? So for example, things like, hey, join the Chamber of Commerce to help advertise your business, right? Some people that may not be applicable to because they live in the middle of nowhere and the Chamber of Commerce are so far. And even though they can advertise for you, you can't really participate to get your money's worth. So I want to know from you, now that I've given you kind of some examples to jog your memory, what was the best advice you received, as well as what was some of the worst advice you received? Because let's keep it real. Sometimes we get bad advice, right? So, and then when was the time that the advice was more helpful? When you started your business, or when you were in process? And I know a couple weeks ago we had an episode where we talked about getting help and getting resources, but advice is kind of the same way. And if you didn't watch that episode, be sure to go back. RETV streams this program, Entrepreneur Insider, all the time, 24/7, on their Roku app as well as their website. So quick plug, right? You don't have to just watch it on their YouTube channel. But in this episode, I want to share some of the advice that our featured entrepreneurs want you to know, right? That they would share with you, whether you're a new entrepreneur, a person of color, or they just want to encourage you, right? Because that's why this platform is here, to give you education, but also to give you encouragement. So stay tuned to this special episode. Don't forget to share your thoughts down below. And if there's some advice that you've taken from this episode that you haven't heard before, don't forget to share it with others. Enjoy. For advice for a prospective or new entrepreneur.
Okay. I think for me, it's, I guess, advice to, I guess an upcoming or a new entrepreneur would be to, go with your authentic self. Be who you are. Speak your truth, stand in your truth, and walk in your truth. Just because somebody else does it a certain way does not mean that you have to follow suit. March to the beat of your own drum. Make sure you're doing everything that's legal, of course, that's ethical. And make sure at night you can go to bed and you can sleep well, because you know that you went out here and you were able to be an impact in somebody's life in a positive manner. Also, I would say stop looking, that everybody around here is competition. In insurance, everybody is an insurance agent, seem like on every corner. They're not my competition. I'm not theirs. Just like if you go into the grocery store, go on the bread aisle. All those different breads are on that aisle. But guess what? Everybody's going to go over there and pick whatever bread that they like or whatever bread they choose. I'm not for everybody. I'll be the first to say that. I know that I'm not. And I'm okay with that. But another agent may be. But guess what? If I can open that door for that agent, and I was able to get on some sort of platform or whatever and allow that agent to come on in and make that sale or get in front of somebody, I did my part. I'm going to be blessed for that. Not everything has to come in and be, a monetary gain. Sometimes it's just about paying it forward. Always pay it forward. Everything you go through is not for you, it's to help somebody else. All my struggles, everything I had to go through, all of that test was just my testimony. So whenever so as I make it through, this way, and I'm still learning. I'm always willing to learn. I'm a sponge. Be a sponge. Don't always think that somebody's coming trying to hurt you or hinder you. They're there sometimes to help you. You just got to be able to just sit down, shut your mouth, be quiet, and turn into a pupil and just start writing, just start living and listening.
The piece of advice that I have lately is do not be afraid of loans.
Okay.
Definitely go for grants, because again, we get a lot of people asking us and telling us they want to apply for different grants, etc. But what I've found recently is a lot of us say that we want to grow, but we're not looking at all of the different funding streams that there are to grow. All I ever hear is grants. And it's not just grants that's out there. There's angel investors, there's grants is just one piece, there's crowdfunding, there's loans, etc. But what I've watched is I've watched some key business people take those loans and build capacity with a plan on how they're going to pay that loan back intentionally and aggressively. And then they let that also feed into their success of being able to get other capital. So, what I would challenge is our mindset around only going for grants. But to diversify those streams and know that there's so many other streams to be able to fund your business outside of just grants. And I would feel like I'd be remiss if I wasn't encouraging people to look at all of the funding streams and not shy away from a loan.
So the first thing is that as a business owner, you have to learn that this is not about you. Yes, it's your business. Yes, you get to make a lot of decisions, but it's not about you. And the first thing you have to learn is to let go of your ego and to do the things that customers want you to do in the way that you want to do them, right? So if you want to sell underwater basket weaving services and your customers and you want to do it at a specific location and your customers require the pool to be precisely 75 degrees and that place doesn't have a temperature, you can't, it's not about you saying, oh, I can't afford the place at a temperature. You got to figure out how to make that work.
Okay.
Right? Because you saying you can't afford it, you saying you can't figure it out, you saying it doesn't work is all your ego. It's all you telling you how important you are and how you can't figure this part out. You signed up to be an entrepreneur, and the main thing that we do is figure out problems. So solve that problem, give your customers what you want. It's not about you. Okay. For entrepreneurs of color, I will say that nobody's coming. Okay? That's the thing you got to learn. Nobody's coming. It don't mean we don't love you, but you got to actually put out something people like, and you got to put out something that's high quality, and you got to do. Yeah, we're going to support, right? We love you. We're going to support, but that support that you're looking for is only going to happen once. Because after you've been an entrepreneur for a week or two, right? We're not going to keep congratulating you for being an entrepreneur. We're going to congratulate you once on opening your LLC. We're going to congratulate you once on opening your bank account. We're going to congratulate you once on launching your first product. But after that, you got to get out here just like everybody else and market your services, right? And you got to do it relentlessly. The key core advice that I've been giving people every day is that no matter how you feel every day, you need to have a few activities that you do every day religiously. Doesn't matter how you feel, doesn't matter what's going on. There have to be little simple tasks that you take care of that move your business forward. So if it's, I told my friend the other day, sometimes you see me just put out a stupid post on social media. Like Tia, you saw a post on social media. It's not really always about me giving the best business advice. It's really just about me staying top of mind. So when customers see it or potential clients see it, they remember, oh, this guy does this. And he's like, oh, this is a stupid picture of his selfies. But it still reminded them that I was there. So I do it all the time just to make sure I do it. Religiously, I send my email list now, right? I send an email to them. I write the email and send it just to keep myself top of mind. Even if it's not good, I just send it.
What'd you think of this episode? Did you learn something new? Were you reminded of something that maybe you knew about and just kind of forgot to implement? Well, whatever your thoughts are, suggestions for improvement. Hey, Tia, I want to be featured. I want to share my business with the RETV and T-Bank communities. I want to hear from you. So post your thoughts, your comments, your feedback down below, or email me at info@the Black Entrepreneurs Network, especially if you want to be featured or sponsor an upcoming episode. I want to hear from you. I'm always looking for new entrepreneurs of color to spotlight and share with our community. So email me at info@the blackentrepreneursnetwork.com to be featured or to sponsor an episode. As always, the show is brought to you in partnership with Relationship Entertainment Television, RETV. Be sure to like them on Facebook, download their Roku app, visit their website, and of course, subscribe to their newsletter, share, like, follow, all the things that you would want us to do for you in your business. And while you're there, make sure that if you are watching me on YouTube, you hit the bell so you are notified when new episodes of Entrepreneur Insider premiere every Thursday, only on RETV. I hope you got something out of this episode. I really appreciate you and your support. And until next time, don't forget, be great. Peace.
find yourself stressed or overwhelmed with the organizing process? Are you missing deadlines or compromising on the quality of your work because of the clutter that's in your space physically or mentally? Well, you've come to the right place. My name is Sierra Hamilton with Nicely Placed Organizing, and here we organize for first-time homebuyers, full-time artists with a creative workspace or an art studio, and those who are overwhelmed with the organizing process. We'd love to help you organize your space and be able to relieve you of the stress that you're feeling so you can be able to relax in your new home, meet those deadlines that you're missing, and also be at peace with the entire organizing process going forward. Contact us today by email at inquire@nicelyplaceorganizing.com or by phone at 803-629-0326. You can also find us and some of our work on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Nicely Placed Organizing. We can't wait to hear from you soon.
Tune in to Millionaire Man Cave, only on Relationship Entertainment Television, Tuesdays at 8 p.m.
This is Tyron
and Nicole with your weekly RATV news break. Each Thursday at 12 noon Eastern, we'll come to you with the latest news, trends, and more with a positive spin.
We know there's a lot of positive news that doesn't get reported, but we want to give you the opportunity to share your story here on RATV. If you have a positive news story you want us to share, you can submit your story to news@re-tv.net.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Relationship Entertainment Television YouTube channel. Download the new RATV Live app on your mobile device and follow Relationship Entertainment Television on your favorite social media platform.
Don't forget, make sure you tune into the RATV News Break each Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Until then, be blessed and be great.
Welcome to What's Going On? My name is Demita Joe. Each Wednesday, you can find me here at 3 p.m. I'll be over here discussing different things that are going on and try to bring you a boost of positivity for your week because we all need this. We're going to share some feel-good stories. We might find a hometown hero. We may take a look at some trending topic. And sometimes we might even find a lesson in a not-so-warm and fuzzy story if we can. I'm Demita Joe, and I'll see you guys on the next episode right here on What's Going On? Hey, it's your girl Tia Robertson. I'm the host of Entrepreneur Insider. Every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern for entrepreneurs and news that you need to know about. See you there.